Salute to all my twins. Y'all already know what it is. We on here, we on deck. Lions and men. The saga continues, twins. Appreciate all the love, all the support. Y'all already know how it is. On my Giants, on my Kings, on my Lions, on my men. You know, when I say those things, you know, I don't want to I'm not speaking about just us Latinos. Us that was Latin Kings and was banging for a reason or not. Because some was just for no, they ain't had nothing else to do. You know, in all honesty and all fairness. But when I say all my Lions, all my Kings, all my Giants, all my gentle Giants, that's just real men that move like lions and kings, regardless of race, culture, what set you repping, regardless of all that. Think about it. If you're a real man, real nigga, you moving like a king. You moving like a lion. Feel me? So this is for all of y'all. All of us. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep this shit pushing in the right direction. I am not promoting violence. I am speaking my truths. Coincidentally, those truths coincide with a culture of prison. And in prison, violence is respected over everything else. Nothing else matters. You're going to respect violence. That goes for everyday life also. Some people just don't respect nothing but violence. That is a fact. Snapple fact. And my Lion twins, some people just don't respect nothing but violence. In prison, that's the main thing you gonna know and respect is violence from the COs also. Because we don't respect them. And they still whip our ass. Like when we turn up, it's like, I don't give a fuck what they gonna do to me. That's the mentality. So for some, you know, that doesn't even hold weight. But that's a chosen few. Those are them real lions. Them real kings, them real men, them real giants. No matter what you rap, you feel me? Real talk. Now, I was seeing the comments. I'm getting posted on other people's blogs. I guess it's homie related to the homies. Shout out to the homies. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got love for a lot of the homies. I can't lie. Did they try to do me dirty? Some of them, yes. Did I try to do them dirty? Yes. That was just how the fuck it was back then. Period. Did I move on? Yes. Am I speaking about old shit? Yes. Does this old shit resonate for what's going on now? Yes. What's changed? The name? It's the same culture. It's still violent. You don't want to go through it. You don't want to live it. So, basically, that's the type of time I'm on right now, twins. You feel me? But I have to address some shit I was hearing on. Oh yeah, the Mel murder situation. I do not know if it's whoever it is y'all talking about that's like Dipset related or from Harlem. I don't know if he has a cut on his face. I believe it's on the left side of his face, cheek to chin. That was me. I don't know who the fuck he was. He was from Brooklyn. This happened in 9-6. 9 bigs for my home. Remember that? Now I'm Biggs. You can't say, let me get a cig, let me get a big rat. Let me get a bigger rat. Alright? I don't know. He was from Brooklyn, I think, the one that I did. I only had like two like run-ins with him. I don't know his whole fucking resume. I don't know where the fuck he from, what he rap, all that. I mean, I know he rap obviously, but I don't know like exactly like where he was from or exactly who it is, because I hear people throwing a bunch of like, listen, he from Brooklyn, raspy voice, that stands out, raspy voice. You know what I'm saying? There's probably 1,000 murders out there now. Who fucking knows? There's probably 1,000 of these niggas out there, B. I ain't talking about them 1,000. I'm talking about that one. And this is back, like I said, 96. And he held weight. He had chains on and I wasn't even thinking about yapping him. I was thinking about shooting. But anyway, that's it. Because I'm not going to be the one that's going to keep on replying on the same comments also. I'm just addressing it, believe it or not. And this is the truth, and that's it. So that's what happened with that situation. I don't know if it's that person or not, but like I said, if he got that on his face, and it's on that side of his face, that was me. So, moving on. When they was asking me, because I was, in the last, video, I was talking about how when I ended up getting that revenge on that dude that was telling that story about when he did me dirty and they jumped me and all that shit. And they got the best of me, you know what I'm saying? And then like a year and a half later, I ended up in the court pens with this motherfucker. And at this time, I was already sentenced. I was going to get sentenced for a case that I was already locked up for. So I was going to get sentenced. And on the day of sentencing, I ended up catching this other assault charge, basically, on this dude. And dudes was like, yo, how you get the razor? And somebody was talking about how you smoking bud in the pens. Brother. Twins. If you was of any type, if I don't know, like, if you was cutting a lot of dudes and you was always in the box and you couldn't bust a move, it was hard for you to bust a move. If you wasn't always in the box, you was always about, when every time you went to court, you was gonna have a bag, right? And when I say the bag, I mean narcotics, whatever is your drug of choice. It was usually always two, which was dope and marijuana. So those were the two drugs of choices at the time that everybody was always smuggling to court. From Rikers Island, when you go to court, you can bring food with you, like anything that's hermetically sealed, and anything you can put like in a bag or whatever. You can take with you chips, cakes, snacks. Back then we had lunch meat, cheese, all that, bread, like a whole loaf of potato bread. We used to be able to take beef sticks, you know, the Slim Jims, whatever the fuck you call them shits. Whenever you really doing you, for all these so-called shooters and gangsters that was doing them and shot 1,000 niggas, if you was moving around in courts, you was heavy, always. And you always had bud, you probably had dope, and you always had a bag in your hand of where the bread bag is with your chips and your food in there, like your fucking lunch bag, basically, twins. Your lunch bag for court, because you're not eating them bullpen sandwiches. You're not eating that hard-ass bologna and cheese sandwich. You going in there with your own little commissary. It didn't matter if you had to rob a nigga. I wasn't going to court without my shit, always. That right there was also a show of power, believe it or not. If not power, authority, whatever category you want to put it into. So, contraband, razors, bud, dope, cheek it or boof it. Or have it like in your boxes. It depends on who's searching you. Sometimes you don't even have to really boof it. Mad times I didn't have to boof shit. Why? Because the COs was regulars. When you fight in the case, you lay up a certain amount of time. You see the same correction officers on the rag. Every time you go to court, every time you on the island, it's the steadies. And when you know, once in a while, you might come into somebody that's not a steady, but usually that's not what it is. Every time you go to court, you seeing the same motherfuckers unless they go on vacation or some shit. So a lot of times I ain't even have to. I keep my shit cheap. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get. And then the bud is the same thing. I'm not taking a whole fucking ounce of weed with me, my man. I'm taking something to roll up the smoke. Who's not? I was going to. How many times I went to see the judge high? Damn near every time I went to court. Was the CEOs getting mad? Yes. What the fuck they gonna do? Nothing. Back then, even now, motherfuckers still smoke in the pen. You is not going to court, and if you could bring shit with you, are not gonna bring it with you and not try to light it up. Back then, it was way easier for us with the lighters and all that shit and matches because they were selling it in the commissary. That all changed. I get that. So now you probably got it. You gotta, and motherfuckers maneuvered around that. What they was doing, folding up matchsticks. Used to call them skateboards. The striker, rip up the striker, fold that up, get the matchsticks, wrap it up, put it in something, whatever you could do it, and put it, just stash it somewhere in your body, man. That's gonna be your light when you get to wherever you get. Feel me? It's always, and if not, you be on the gate like, yo, who got it? If you got it, somebody's gonna have the opposite. It's always like that also. Feel me? 100% facts. This is real jail life in New York City. And I'm gonna talk about the upstate shit. I'm gonna get into that. We'll get into that today. I just wanted to address some of these things and some of the comments and then jump into it, right? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Matter of fact, let's jump into it. So I'm gonna shoot to when I already sentenced now. I'm already sentenced. I got hit with 12 years. I blew trial. For a home invasion, or burglary. It was a bunch. You know how it is in the beginning. It's a bunch of charges, but those are the charges I blew to. It was like mad charges in the beginning, but all that shit ends up getting cut down to like 3 or 4. Those were the main 2. I ended up getting hit with 12. My max was 15. I went to Downstate Correctional Facility first. Did cadre there. From cadre, I lasted like a year, or not even a year. Got into some bullshit. Cadre, like, that was mad close and mad convenient for anybody that's from New York if you're in Downstate Correctional, because that's like basically the Rikers Island for upstate. When you're in New York State, at least in that area. So you see everybody coming through. When I was there in them like 8 months that I was there working in cadre, I was one of the inmates that was giving them, like, taking your sizes for your state greens. I was there when old Dirty Bastard came through, and he was, yo, rest in peace, shout out to old DB, but he owned that name, twin. No lie, bro. Bro, when he came through, but they had him spaced out on meds. That's what I don't like. He was spaced out on meds, so that's why I'm not gonna talk bad on him. But yo, he definitely was he was definitely stinking like a old dirty bastard, my nigga. But that was like, yo, that was a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story, actually. But nah, I'm not. We ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do that. But he definitely was living up to his name. Now his name on Dirty Bastard. He was an old Dirty Bastard, twin. Came through, old dirty, but they had him mad up. You know what I'm saying? So that probably played the part. So that's why I don't really want to talk about all that. I was there when I ain't even gonna get into that. Fuck that shit, because that shit ain't relevant. Certain motherfuckers, there's like celebrities that I cross paths with, but I ain't gonna do that. So now, Wyoming Correctional Facility. After I left Downstate, I went to Attica, actually. I went from Downstate, I went to the box. When I was in the box, I ended up staying in the box for whatever amount of time. It wasn't that much. It was just for like a fight, so it wasn't like nothing crazy. It was like 90 days, I believe, or more. No, it was 90 days, I believe. So I got hit with the 90 days. I did that shit. I did like 30 days in that spot, and then I got sent to Attica and did the other remaining amount of time on keep lock. Keep lock means they just keep you in your cell. You're locked on your cell, and your cell and whatever property you have with you in your cell stays with you. And back then in Attica, like, you got TVs in there. So if I had TV in my cell, all that. I ain't go there with a TV, obviously, but once you get there, you know, if you could bust a movie, you're gonna get a TV. And I did the remaining time in Attica. I stood in Attica for a minute. I got some Attica stories for y'all also. This is not an Attica story. This one's going to skip that. And I'm pushing to when I went to my first medium during my 12-year stint. So my first medium, I believe it was like 2003, 2004, around there. I stood there like 18 months, right? So I was 18 months and I stood 18 months in Attica also. It's crazy how that played out. But I literally always stayed like around 18 months in every jail. And it was just like, that's how I broke up my bed. I would be like, yo, fuck this shit out there. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd do something reckless purposely to leave. Not nothing too crazy, but I just didn't give a fuck. Just because it was like I needed to go somewhere else. And I would do the box time, you know what I'm saying? And then go to another jail. That's how I broke my bed up. So basically when I hit Wyoming, it's right across the street from Attica, first of all. Literally. Google Wyoming Correctional Facility and Attica Correctional Facility after y'all hear this. That shit is literally across the street, twin. I'm talking about across the street. And it's bigger than Attica. It takes up way more space because it's a medium and it's divided between the front and the back. North and the south, whatever. It's the front and the back, basically. And it's big. Yo, shit is fucking... To get to the mess hall in that jail, if you all the way in the back, you going for a walk. Fuck a walk. You going through a mission. Especially if it's cold, twins. Woo! Chacho. Y'all niggas don't know what cold is. That's why this little bullshit we going through right now, twin, is out there. It's out there. I ain't gonna fuck it up. But it's snowing, I know. This shit was like nothing to me. I was used to it. I get to Wyoming. The bros got shit on lock. When I mean on lock, I mean on lock. And it was mad official bros. That was one of the most official spots I was at in my whole bed, where I was with so many official bros. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot of shooters, a lot of bosses, a lot of lions. It was fucking lions in that bitch, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That was a beautiful castle, man. I mean, shout out to Appa, shout out to Casper. I heard Casper and fucking shout out to Cas. I heard my nigga in Elmira right now. I mean, I hope not. I hope he home. I hope he free. But I mean, shout out to Cass. Shout out to Malo. Shout out to Kano. Blue Boy. Shout out to Trouble. Shout out, yo. It was mad official bros. Nene. Not the bad Nene. That's the crazy shit. It's like so many different Nenes. Not the bad Nene, because I X'd out a Nene in there. There was a fucking a tarantana. It was like, you know what I mean, just an irrelevant. But I'm not talking about him. It was another name that was in there. It was official. It was just mad official bros. It's too many to even fucking recall all their names. I ain't gonna. Chicago. Shout out Chicago. And he was literally from Chicago. Had the accent and all that. What's going on, man? Yo, he had the official nigga. When I got to that castle, there was a bro that had a mission to go shoot somebody, right? The dude that he's supposed to shoot is some badass nigga from the Bronx. Some big head nigga called Billy. Billy Bangs or some shit. Billy something. So he already had like 16 years in, right? So this nigga is walking with him. A matter of fact, the dude that I was telling you about, the bad nene, that's the one that's supposed to shoot this dude Billy, right? And he's not, because Billy beat up a bro in the house that he's in. So this is literally like The first week that I'm there, this is the first bullshit that popped off that I remember. And it was like an official, like it like literally was like, I think, matter of fact, I believe it was like the second day I was there. The second day. So when I'm in the yard, you know, I step to the bros, bang, bang, shit, let them know who I am, salute, salute, salute. I start finding out what's going on, bing, bing, bing. So the bro gotta go put some work in, and he's supposed to shoot a nigga, you know what I'm saying? So this is how we used to do shit. I'm gonna tell y'all how we used to line niggas up in the yard. So when we used to walk around the yard, the way we used to line niggas up is we would have somebody walking from the opposite direction, right? Perpendicular to where you're walking from. And at that moment, that person who's walking from the opposite direction will ask the person that's supposed to get shot or get cut or get hurt or whatever, stabbed, for a light. Yo, bro, you got a light? Yo, bro, you got a light? That's it. And I have like a cigarette in his hand to pretend like he need a light. And at the very moment that the individual digs in his pockets for a lighter and gets shot. You know what I'm saying? That's how we used to line motherfuckers up. Real talk, 100% facts. So, especially, that's how Annie used to work 100% all the time. Except for this motherfucker at that moment, he didn't do it. Motherfucker went in his pocket. Somebody else was walking with the nigga Billy. Because I just got there, mind you. So it was already, all of these moves was already in process before I got there. It was already like going down. I just got there at this time. It was my second day there. And I'm coming from the max. You know what I'm saying? Coming from across the street. So a lot of motherfuckers is like, oh, they kind of look at you a little bit different sometimes too when you know you're coming from a max. You know what I'm saying? Because they know you're doing big boy time. And you just came from over there. And they know it's crazy in Attica. That's Attica, baby. Like, that Attica is fucking real. Them niggas racist as fuck. Shit is violent as fuck. But anyway. So, when the opportunity arrives for this dude to cut him or to shoot him or stab him, whatever, he didn't do it. He went in his pocket, dug, pulled out the motherfucking lighter, lit up the cigarette for the other bro and everything. That's not supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to get popped on the minute he's digging in his pockets. You feel me? That's when you hit him. So if you don't hit him, that means you ain't go. He fucked it up. You know what I mean? Basically, he fucked up the hit. So the other bro's job is not to pop unless we tell him, yo, listen, if this nigga don't shoot him, you pop on him. You feel me? That was never told to the other bro. So he ain't pop. So they keep walking. He lights up the cigarette, keep walking. So now, the head of the castle at that time was like Milo and Appa. Shout out to Appa. And they was like, yo, this motherfucker, boom. They mad as fuck, right? He ends up coming all the way back around. Yo, this is a big yard. I'm talking about a trap. That shit is like, I don't even want to start getting. That shit is big as fuck. It's a big yard. And by the time he get back to the bros, like, the conversation breaks, right? Duke, that nigga Billy, he ends up dipping off, going somewhere else, like with his homies and shit. And the nigga, Nana that was supposed to shoot him, he comes to the bros. We had the back, like 2-3 handball courts was ours. That was all Latin King shit. So he come back over there. He had a rug. The dude, Nana had the rug on him. So the nigga, Nana, Appa calls Nana over, like, yo, come here. Boom, calls him over. When he calls him over, he's like, yo, let me get that. He gets that from him. Boom. And the dudes, then they trying to talk. He's like, yo, I don't know. And Appa just slapped the shit out the nigga. Wakata. The fuck is wrong with you? You ain't no fucking lying. Wakata. Slap the nigga again. This nigga holding his face. Real talk. In the yard. In front of everybody. Slap dog shit out this motherfucker 2 times. So, he's like, yo, get the fuck out my face. Yo, get this motherfucker out my face. Whatever. Boom, boom. We're going to deal with this nigga later. Right? So, then they gets ushered off by some other bros that's catering to him. Because there was a lot of bros. We was like at least like, I know these numbers may not seem like a lot to people, but we was like 20 deep. And 20 deep with 20 real lions? That shit is dangerous, bro. That shit, that's some serious shit. That's some serious firepower, twins. I ain't gonna lie. And there was some homies over there was putting in work. Yo, we was in competition. We wasn't no more. We was no war at that time in Wyoming between the Kings and the Bloods. That shit was a dog. We was riding that 5 and we was on it. And we was in competition with who could put more work in. That's how ill the shit was. Like, oh, I heard about that movie. Don't worry about that, twin. I got you tomorrow, nigga. Yo, this shit's serious. Right? I know it sounds ignorant. I'm not promoting violence. I know it sounds like I am. It may come across as entertaining. It is entertaining. After I live this shit, I can say this shit. But it is all 100% facts. And learn from me. Learn from me. You don't want to go through this shit. Because it's crazy. I had to still listen to people, crackers, talk crazy to me. I had to go through a lot. But this is the facts of it. So, this nigga takes, Appa gets the ratchet off of the nigga Nene. Nene, he's somewhere in the corner. Appa comes over, posts up by the phones. By me, the bro Cass, Marlo, Gano, and some other bro. I forget the other bro's name. And I'm dead. So they're like, yo, this motherfucker, they talking about how this nigga fucked the shit up. And all it is about is that nigga Billy, he beat the brakes off one of the bros in his house. And that nigga Nanny is in the same house where that bro got beat up at. And he ain't do nothing or whatever, but he obviously he ain't do nothing. So now they talking, right? And I was really, in this moment in time of my life, I was really ignorant. And I kind of like hit a switch, you know? Because I had to do a lot of time in prison. And I knew in order for me to like really survive and do me, like, you can't take no shit. You got to put work in. Unless you like a fucking Buddhist priest and you can just be like 100% patient as fuck, you gonna have to put work in, man. And especially when you're doing the type of time I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So while these niggas is talking, the bros, I mean, Casper, they politicking on what's the next move now. The nigga Billy fucked with the Trinitarios hall. Shout out to the Trinis. That nigga Pantera was there. I got a video up there talking about it when I saw about the Trinis in Wyoming. It was Pantera, no, Cañón, Pantera, Cañón, my nigga Jacob. I had one in my house. It was a couple of them. They had shooters. Right? They had their little thing, but they wasn't as big as they are now. Then, you know, obviously, years ago, so they wasn't as big as they were. But even then, you know, what's crazy? I think they still like had more numbers than us even then. But it was just like we just had lions, bro. We just had lions. I ain't going front. But he was like in that crowd, in that area. He wasn't a Trinitario though, but he was fucking with them. I think he was like half Dominican too or some shit like that. So while they talking, I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? Who y'all talking about? This nigga right here, the big head nigga, right? The big head motherfucker over there, right? So they're like, yeah. I'm like, yo, Cass, let me get the ratchet. So he's like, yo, let me get the ratchet. He passed me the ratchet. Boom. I'm like, yo, walk with me, bro. And I just started walking. Straight to this nigga. He don't know me from a hole in the wall. Never seen me before. This is my first time seeing him. I just know he gotta get got. So I start walking right toward this nigga. Now, outside in Wyoming, we have TVs outside. And in this time, it is fucking cold as fuck. I'm forgetting to tell y'all that. I ain't even paint the picture of that. It is fucking snowing. It's snow out that bitch. That shit is like fucking 3 feet of snow out that motherfucker. It's real talk. You know what I mean? We upstate. We in fucking Buffalo, basically. That shit is cold as fuck in that winter time. And snowy as fuck every winter. And I'm going over there, trooping it over to this motherfucker. Boom, I already know who it is. Boom. So Cass is like, yo, what you gonna do? I'm like, yo, bro, just make sure nobody move on me, nigga. I'm just gonna shoot this nigga straight like that. So he's walking with me. That nigga's spider senses went off. Feel me? I'll give him that. Because when we was caught, I was on some creep and shit. And I mean, not really like looking at him. I was walking over because they got a TV in that area. It's like 3 TVs in the yard, I believe, if I'm correct. And that's like where the Dominican TV was at for the Trinitarios and all that. Then we had, then there was another TV, whatever. But and then you got the courts and everything. I'm walking over to him, and there's a crowd around the TV. It's a lot of people around there. It's like I got a curtain of at least like 20 people, 10, let me say 15. Let me say 10, 15, not 20. Maybe 10, 15 people gathered around that TV area outside in the snow in the yard. And he turned and he seen me right when I was about to shoot him. And he was in a conversation with the dude Pantera, I think, or Cañon, one of the big homies too, because they ended up, they got mad that I tried to shoot him. They're like, it was disrespectful, but I didn't know who the fuck they was at the time. I didn't know who they was. I didn't care who. I didn't know who they was. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna talk shit. I ain't know who they was at the time. If I would've known who they was, I wouldn't have did it like that. Out of respect. You feel me? But there was big homies for the threes. And this nigga's in here politicking with them, and I move on the nigga. But he's peeped it. And I think what made him peep it was them moving their eyes on me. Because of the way the direction was where everybody was standing. So when they look up at me coming, he follows their eyes, looks back at me, and that's when I try to shoot the nigga. And the motherfucker did some rainbow shit, twin. Yo, no lie. I hope anybody that was in Wyoming, remember this nigga Billy, remember that? Yo, hit me up. Yo, this nigga he dove, bro. And he did like some tuck and roll shit in the snow. Yo, my nigga, like man. Yo, he moved fast as fuck, bro. Like a fucking fox, like a cat, nigga. That nigga just threw into the snow, my nigga, like, and he was like a couple of feet away that quick. I mean, well, mad snow on him though, cause he like dove away, cause I had the nigga and I caught him, but I didn't catch him because he had the scarf around him. You know what I'm saying? So he was ready too, cause he's a veteran. So that's what saved him. He was a vet, and his spider senses went off. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But the way he fucking. I ain't trying to brag. That mother ain't yours. It's like hundreds of mad people that can vouch for that because there's mad people in that yard, man. And yo, just the names I'm saying plus whoever the fuck out. And yo, he moved, bro. He dipped in that snow mad fast. So I'm like, oh shit, that nigga like because he really bust a move on me. And he's like jumping up out the snow and shit, dusting off, looking at me all crazy. So I start rushing the nigga. But when I start rushing him, I got to go deep into the snow because he jumped into the snow part where nobody is walking at. So that's why it was so much snow. Like where everybody was standing, that's already shoveled out. Everybody's standing there watching TV. He jumped into a whole pile of that shit to get away from me when I was trying to shoot him. So I hear the bros like, yo, because I was starting to chase him down. And I was like halfway deep into the snow. And I'm like fucking jumping in the snow. I'm jumping in the snow. Yo, the snow is mad high, bro. And I'm over here with this motherfucking rug in my hand. This man got a whole fucking scarf around his face, hoodie, hat on, everything. That's what saved him. You know what I mean? Because I cut that shit, but I ain't getting him. And the bros is like, yo, chulo. Yo, that's it. Come back. Because in the same direction that he's going also towards is where the police is at. That's where the COs is at. It's towards where the trailer is at. He dove towards the trailers. Anybody that ever been in Wyoming Correctional Facility in the back, y'all know where the trailers is at, posted in that backyard. That's the direction that he posted. He ran towards, and that's the TV that he was at when I tried to get at him. And so at that same time, that's what it was. I left something out. See, it was on the go back. It was on the early go back. So I tried to get him because on the early go back when there was some movement. So that's why the police didn't jump on point immediately. And when I started chasing them immediately, and then the bros called me back, and then when I pulled back, you know, the police start seeing him like he got wild. He the only motherfucker looking like a snowman. Cause he jumped in that pile of snow. Motherfucker's like, yo, you alright? He's dusting snow off. He's like, yeah. He going back now. He going back to the house. So I'm with the bros. We dipped off. We went to the back because that was the early go back. You know, it's 2 go backs: the early go back and the last go back. I stood in the yard. He wasn't in my house. So I forget what happened to that nigga after that. Oh, there was another bro. Hold on. Sueño. I gotta shout out Sueño. I forget where he's from. King Sueño. Official bro. Talk wild Spanish. I forget where he from though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember he from upstate or he from the city. But he was also in the house, and he was a newbie like me. He had just got there also, but he was like a new king. No, I think he was from upstate. I ain't gonna lie. I think Sueño's son is telling me he was like from Buffalo or Syracuse. And Sueño was in that same house with that nigga Billy. And when they got to the house, Billy still tried to do with the politics again. And Sueño washed him up, got him up out the house. He ended up going to that dude ended up leaving, and he was out. He was out the building. We got rid of him. He was gone. And but that was that was my second day in Wyoming, twin. Facts. Upstate, this shit was real, man. Everything moved so fast. Everything at any split second, bro. All it takes is one wrong word. You say the wrong thing to make me feel any type of way where I have to think about it, that means I gotta do something to you. That's crazy when you think like that. But that's how it was, man. That's definitely how it was. And that's still how it is. In prison, you know, violence is number one. Number one when it comes to you being who the fuck you are without fucking being a bitch. Or just being a nobody. Somebody that just a sheep. That's all it is, isn't it, bro? You know, sometimes we might take a little sheep under our wing. Because I started, after a while, you mature. Feel me? And as I'm in there, I'm taking bros under my wing or dudes under my wing, period. And I'm like, yo, y'all don't got... Because I stopped putting in all that work all the time. Because I was like, it gets to the point where it's like, I don't have to. You know, I will if I have to. But I don't always have to. You know? That's the difference between a lion and somebody that's just putting work in. That's the difference between a king and somebody that's just putting work in. That's the difference. Because I'm playing chess. And everybody else is playing checkers. Not everybody else, because you had a lot of twins that was like neutral dudes. Yo, it's man neutral motherfuckers that I always talk about in my videos. They was keeping, yo, shout out to my nigga Steve-O. Shout out. Know what I mean? For motherfucking BX all day. Shout out to my nigga Nemo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my bro Lowe's. Shout out to my nigga twins. Shout out to the twins. Feel me? BX motherfuckers. Shout out to my nigga BP, Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brownsville. Shout out to Brownsville, the homie, BP. Where you at, BP? You see me? That was my boy. Where you at, twin? I want to hear from my boy BP. He was with me in Mid-State right before I came home. Who else? Shout out to Freeze. Even though me and Freeze had a little bad blood, it's all love, twin. Shout out to Freeze. But yeah, man, shit was definitely crazy. Day 2 in Wyoming, and in that facility, the Kings had a real big print in there. We was holding that shit down in the back, and we had a lot of official bros. I ain't gonna lie, it was a lot of official bros. That one dude Nene was like the only bad one there. Shout out to King Blue, not Blue Boy. Shout out to Blue. I know Blue Boy too. I was with Blue. This is another shit. I addressed that already with the murder shit, right? Yeah, I did that already. Nah, because I seen somebody talking about the Magoo shit again. Yo, bro, I'm not going to sit here and talk about somebody that can't defend himself. Salute to the man. I have no animosity, hate towards the man, like, but I seen somebody still talking about that. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm not gonna do that. It is what it is. I mean, I'm out here, he's still out, he in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I don't even know the motherfucker enough to feel like I hope he come home, man. I would hope he come home. And everybody else doing life in prison. You know, I've been around a lot of motherfuckers. You know? And I don't know if y'all familiar with this situation, right? But there's some shit called the Valentine's Day Massacre. It took place in the South Bronx, right? There's 2 Valentine's Day massacres. There's the ones that happen with the Italians, and then there's the ones that happen in the Bronx. And that one happened in 92, 93. And in the one that I'm talking about, the whole family got killed. This is all public record. So I could speak on it. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. So this is all public record. Now, I have nothing to do with anything that took place in this horrible, horrific crime. But I was with 3 out of the 5 individuals that did this shit. So I reached out to Tato, right? Out of respect, he doesn't want his name told, his government name, so I'm not. And Tato basically, I was with him when I was in Clinton. He was one of the shooters that went into that apartment when they murdered all 5 of these individuals. This shit is this is the environment that I grew up in. When this incident took place, I was living in 950 Avenue St. John's in the South Bronx between Kelly and Beck. You can get off on a 2 train on Prospect Walk down, or you get off on a 6 train on 146 and walk up or something like that. The dudes on my block were legendary, bro. They need movies made behind these motherfuckers. No exaggeration. Shout out to Wito. I heard this motherfucker's a millionaire right now. You earn every penny, twin. It was that block. Whew. And I'm talking like the 80s, early 90s. Yo, they had it all, my nigga. Like that block was literally the Puerto Rican New Jack City. My building When I used to come out to go to school, elementary school, I used to see a crack line going down the block. I used to see that shit every morning. Facts. My mother used to tell me, oh, they're just getting their medication, their medicine. They was definitely getting their fix. And I'm talking about cheese lines, my nigga. You feel me? But that block is the block where, like, all those, like, these dudes we was all around each other. I was a youngin. They was all around each other. I was little. But when I did my bed, I bumped into a lot of them. And I knew, like, about the shit. Like I told you, I was in contact. My hands is in there. I know people that's in Attica right now. I know niggas that's in the feds right now. I know motherfuckers that's in Clinton right now. I know people that's in Green right now. What else? Elmira. I know people that's in Elmira right now. Like, I mean, my point is, I reach out. I'm still in tune with my dudes that's never coming home. So, like I said, I got permission to talk about this story. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it tomorrow because this story is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's cold-hearted. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers is never coming home. It's life in jail. Dying in jail. All of them. I'm going to say a name for all the homies that's out there, you know what I mean, to be following. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Ding Ding. Y'all know Ding Ding. Puerto Rican Ding Ding. Another Puerto Rican blood that was heartless. Doing motherfuckers filthy. Filthy. I don't know if he's still banging or not. But niggas know Ding Ding. Niggas, and God bless Ding Ding. I mean, he is who he is. You know? And he in there. And I reached out to him also. No response. So it is what it is on that. But that's expected. Like, motherfuckers ain't trying to talk about shit. I get it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, though, I'm hitting y'all with that real shit. And it's something to learn from, to show y'all how different it was and how crazy it was during that era. That over a female. And because you have people so scared of you, your presence is so strong. You had motherfuckers murder a whole family over a female. Real talk. Real talk. I got y'all tomorrow, twins. I'm over my number right now. 48 minutes. It's too much. I hope y'all like what y'all hear. Hit the subscribes. Share. Do what y'all do. Blow up the comments. Let me know what y'all thinking. I'm definitely going to hit y'all back. Shout out to all my twins. Salute to all my real ones. Y'all already know what it is. Nothing but Lions love. Kings love. All day, every day. 360 strong. Love y'all, twins. Peace.